I want to share with you how to use a pendulum and charts for self-discovery and guidance. Many people have approached me for personal readings, but I realize they have the ability to find answers within themselves by tapping into their higher selves. This video breaks down the pendulum techniques into simple steps, empowering you to trust this intuitive tool and access your own innate wisdom instead of relying on external sources like channelers or Akashic Records readers. Let me share my personal story of how I started using the pendulum. I was planning a trip from Europe to Mexico and used the pendulum to choose my flight. Surprisingly, it guided me towards a more expensive Air France flight. Although puzzled, I trusted the pendulum's guidance. During my travel, I unexpectedly reunited with a dear Mexican friend on the same flight, validating the pendulum's direction. This experience taught me the power of trusting my intuition and the pendulum's guidance. Through this video, I hope to inspire you to develop a deeper connection with your higher self and trust your intuitive abilities. A pendulum is a simple yet powerful tool for gaining insight and clarity into your life's journey. It's a weight suspended from a chain or string that can be used for divination, a practice of seeking knowledge through supernatural means. When you ask the pendulum questions, it swings in different directions, acting as a receiver and transmitter of information. The movements are believed to be influenced by your subconscious mind or spiritual guidance, helping you tap into your inner wisdom. Pendulums can provide insight into various aspects of life, from career choices to personal growth. Remember, the pendulum is not meant to dictate your actions but rather to help uncover your true feelings and thoughts. When choosing your pendulum, trust your intuition. If you feel drawn to a particular pendulum, it may be the right one for you. Ensure the material resonates with you and opt for durable materials like metals, crystals, or stones rather than fragile options like glass. The pendulum should feel comfortable to hold and swing, not too light or heavy. The shape can be a personal choice, though some believe certain shapes enhance responsiveness. Using a pendulum for personal insight. Formulate questions that are concise and specific. Start with simple yes and no questions as they are easier to interpret. If you're new to this, begin with straightforward decisions to practice. Avoid overly complex life decisions initially to prevent disappointment. Some believe cleansing the pendulum of previous energies is beneficial. You can do this by holding it under running water, placing it in sunlight, or using other cleansing methods like sage smoke. This step is not necessary before every use. Personally, I leave my pendulum with tachyon rods overnight. While not required, many find it helpful to work in a decluttered space surrounded by crystals, plants, using music such as binaural beats or going to the nature. Set up an environment that helps you feel at ease. Before any energy work or channeling, some prefer using a protective invocation until they fully trust their multidimensional nature and feeling of safety. Sit comfortably with your elbows supported, ensuring the pendulum can swing freely. Before starting, understand how your pendulum communicates. Ask it to show you its movements for yes, no, and maybe. Each pendulum may respond differently. Typically, a clockwise swing indicates yes, counterclockwise is no, and vertical movement means maybe. No movement might mean that you shouldn't know the answer, and so on. Clear your mind of biases and preconceived answers before using the pendulum. Create neutral state of your mind. Hold the pendulum steady without moving your hand and wait for it to move. Ask clear, concise yes-no questions. Sometimes slightly rephrasing can change the pendulum's direction, so rephrase if unsure. Learn the pendulum's language for yes, no, and maybe and interpret its movements accordingly. Using pendulum charts for specific answers. While a pendulum can answer yes/no questions, using a pendulum chart can provide more specific insights. These charts typically have letters, numbers, or words arranged in a circle or grid pattern. To use a pendulum chart, place it flat on a table and hold the pendulum suspended over the center. Ask your question aloud or in your mind and observe as the pendulum moves towards specific areas of the chart, revealing detailed answers. Pendulum charts can cover a wide range of topics such as health, relationships, starseed divination, chakra state, or what crystals to use, for example. I download charts from the internet or create my own. They offer a deeper exploration of the issues you're seeking guidance on. It's important to approach pendulum charts with an open mind and a sense of exploration. Take the time to understand the chart's layout and symbols before using it. And remember, the pendulum's guidance should be combined with your own judgment and intuition. Developing a connection with your pendulum and its movements takes practice and patience. Approach it as a sacred tool and trust that with time you'll become more attuned to its guidance and the insights it can provide. Thank you for watching and leave comments below about your experience.